breaking it all down and looking good in the process. But here we go, folks. It's time to jump into the game, and let's see. Let's start off with some spice, some picante, if you will, with Sentinels. I like kicking it off with these guys, Dread.
Yeah, one of the more aggressive teams in North America, but one thing we must consider is the fact that they did not thrive when it came to the qualifiers as much as we would expect for a roster as big as this. That being said, other names struggled far harder than that of Sentinels because some of the best teams that we know are not even among us here. So Sentinels clearly trying to continue the claim as to why they're one of the best here, but also Team Fire, a team that has actually been looking for traction on social media, hitting up some of the talent, talking about how we are undervaluing them, and they proved it by qualifying and representing here for North America.
Well, what's a way to get recognized, right? You can go and yell at the top of a mountain, tell everyone that no one's paying attention to you, but once you get to this point, then obviously we can't ignore you anymore, and that's exactly what Fire has done here, playing in Capital City right now, just looting up and grabbing what they can as they get ready and prepare for where this ring is going to go, and that can tell and dictate how this game is going to conclude. And with that Pathfinder, you can now be able to, like always, be able to tell where that next ring is going to be, just as they did right there. This is already looking like they want to continue to hold it in Capital City, Dread.
Yeah, a couple pings going down, though, so at least indicating some interest towards the future. You know, the small kind of perspective we get there in the top left of what we get from the Pathfinder indicates it's going to be somewhere near Epicenter, maybe a little bit to the western side there. I'm sure as, you know, rounds move on, we will get a better understanding here, but a bit of action is it's going to be Rocker finding a tango there on the second floor, losing his shielding. Looks like he's going to go and drop back here for the rest of the ranks.
And this is Team Squidward, a squad that I think a lot of people really have on their radar, but Naffin's going to go down, low HP. Lou's going to be out of this one as well, but there comes Rocker in for the save, and they're able to pick up those kills and pick up his teammates.
Yeah, and as you said there, Team Squidward being one of the better teams, actually the highest seeded team coming into today, some of the best performances in the qualifiers, and it's nice to see, you know, Lou showing that he still has what it takes. They're moving on beyond FlyQuest as they've kind of gone each in their own direction, but a team that has remained constant is that of TSM as they find their way here in the outskirts of Capital City, looking for a very early transition there, Golden Boy.
Yeah, there are only three things that are constant in this life. It's going to be death, taxes, and TSM winning major events. Because so far, nothing else has changed. They've given us no indication that they are going to be slowing down. They have continued to remain at the top of the mountain for a very, very long time, and Navarleli's going to find one in front of him. That's going to be a G7 Scout, that very powerful weapon that these players are going to take advantage of. A few shots there just to put the fear in him and let him know that TSM is here to box.
Yeah, but the accuracy already displayed there by Albraleli, how fast he was able to find both targets, pressure them, and ease up the breathing room necessary for this rotation, again, shows the kind of class of play we expect out of TSM.
It's the little details, man. He threw those shots down, cracked the shield. That guy has to go back. They're not going to be dealing with them anymore. They can just keep on their merry way all the way up to Epicenter and get ready for this next ring.
The Epicenter ring, though, if it is in fact going to be the final one, sitting on the outskirts just towards the southwestern end of Epicenter, is very difficult to be able to hold because of all those icebergs that sit and split your approach towards the Epicenter. We'll figure out if that in fact is going to be it, as we are only 10 seconds out from the closing section of round number one. But back with Fire with their transition, maybe found themselves TSM as they were making their way over to that Epicenter.
Also like the little bit of movement there from Fire. I think those were shots that were coming from behind, if I'm correct.
Great.
And I like and I appreciate how Bert was not exposing the head there and just turning his back, you know, turning around. It's little details like that, right? Not denying anyone the ability to get a headshot. Small details that players can do to take advantage, and the movement in the game allows you to do that.
With the transition up, though, on this zip from Fire, even though I really like it, it's so early in the game that it's also a problem in the fact that, you know, a grapple, Pathfinder's the only one who gets the advantage out of that. A zip line, not only your team gets the advantage, but so does the enemy. It creates an access point that even a Pathfinder-less composition suddenly has now access to there. So we'll see how they end up defending, as there are a lot of people making that rotation, Sentinels, in fact, being one of them, as they make a pit stop here in Capital City.
I wonder what we're going to see as far as these weapon compositions that players are going to run. A lot of scouts, obviously, wingmen, obviously, and you got teams sometimes, you know, we discussed in great detail, teams sometimes running 3 scouts, right?
Yeah.
Just
the
heavy,
G21 meta.
Yeah, heavy on that weapon because, you know, it's just a very, very strong gun. But then you also need someone to handle the action in the close range, right? The PK, the Peacekeepers, the R99s. You need a little bit of, you know, the razzle-dazzle, if you will.
And, you know, we heard the analyst, I believe, talking about at one point some of the ammunition situation just between the G7 Scout and, in fact, the R99. And whenever you have so many G7 Scouts, the ammunition and the R99 is very high on the light demand. So I actually like talking about those weapon pairings. Very cost-effective. And when I say cost-effective, it's how much inventory it takes to be effective with a weapon. Things like the Wingman are very, very good at that in a different weapon category. So I think that's part of the reason we might see a rise of Wingman here at our Tournament for North America.
That was Aqualix that was putting down shots there on Sentinels, forcing Sentinels to have to go back, but they're going to be taking shots of their own, and Ray Rain, he's going to be dropping down, needs to be careful and just heal up here for the time being. I do want to make note that while we were talking about what the weaponry we were going to see from these players, they were also really focused, Sentinels, on getting behind Epicenter. Epicenter with that high ground, you pop a G7 Scout up above, oh boy, you are cooking, baby. You might as well be a chef in the kitchen.
Yeah, very much so there. And this is actually interesting decisions coming out from Aqualix here, and the fact that they have made the transition down. I want to know what the Wraith decision here is going to be. The portal's laid down, and I think they're going to test the waters to see if this entryway is actually safe. And if it is not, they're going to reverse portal back and then take the other direction. Very clever play here from Aqualix, understanding the macro sense of early rounds very, very well, and doing as much research as possible.
Yeah, and you can take that damage, right? It's okay if you get tagged up a little bit outside of the ring because you're not going to be getting chunked for all that much health. So they have to make that decision. This is going to be a very wide rotation. Then we jump over to the other side here. You got Only One Mini along with Smile and Moose and Flower. They're in the tunnels currently. They're just running out and getting into that safe area here. The loadout, Wingman, Peacekeeper, the tried and true combination of competitive Apex players everywhere. Also running the Watson, Gibraltar, Gibby, who the analysts have talked about extensively, getting just so much love, which I'm okay with. He's a great guy.
He is a great dude, and, you know, the bubble is only getting better with every patch of heals, you know, between the healing increase into the resurrection increase that we see here on the current patch that we are playing on today. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with and replacing often, as you've highlighted there, the common Pathfinder of old. But a team who has not replaced that here is Sentinel still, as Zom's running that classic, what I call the ugliest skin for Pathfinder, the watermelon there. He runs it every time, and it bothers me every tournament.
Well, if it bothers you, then, well, I'm okay with that, you know? All right, well, up above you got Force, Brood, and Promo on the high ground right outside of the edge of the zone. Also that zip line there, just getting yourself to the high ground. A few shots were zipping by there on Force. I don't know if you heard that. And they're just going to take advantage of those G7 Scouts, man. Crack the shields, plan those shots, get a little lead in there. You got players all around them here, and they can just continue to put some fear into them. Some more shots. They have plenty of ammo to spare.
Nice openers there, and I like the caution with each shot. Very, very precise, making sure to take his time and look at the prey there. A third party comes in, an easy cleanup.
Sentinels.
It's going to be sad there for Force, but Force what? But as you said, Sentinels are got to be the primary focus there, as they are likely going to force the push. 20 seconds out till round 2 is going to close. Can they defend off one of the favored teams here in this event?
Well, they have the angles, they have the range. If Sentinels wants to get up in their face and get aggressive, they're going to have to deal with Promos, who's so far up ahead there. I wonder what that is going to really pan out for Sentinels. They could potentially do it with that high ground control. It's going to be really challenging there. Now we go over to Pride, Metro, and Turns, and they're going to have the charge rifle here, Wade.
Yeah, something we haven't seen in a hot while. Finds a nice crack there onto purple armor. It's PTM now further the advance here into the fray. Peak number 2, not going to find anything here quite yet, but once he gets around this choke, they're going to have a big action there. Losing all the ammo, or armor, excuse me, in that trade to the Wingman is not a good look here for PTM.
Like that these players are getting a little aggressive, getting a little aggro. Oh, but the nade comes flying in from RKN, and they smell blood as Team Pro is going to engage in this fight. You got the R99 Peacekeeper overpowered. He's looking to live up to the name and get up in their face, as they are just going to send them with their tail tucked between their legs. Cracked armor over there. You got to chuck that thermite there just to be able to put some pressure onto them. There it goes. Nicely done by Overpowered. That's going to be a down onto Pride. He's going to get out of dodge. They did lose out on P-Share, RKN's going to be a little low, popping that shield battery there. Should be back in a fighting position here in just a second as that ring closes in, but they're going to be in that safe zone.
Overpowered got so much value out of that Thermite grenade. It was absolutely ridiculous. To confirm the information on the second target for Golden Armor and the crack enabled his teammate to get an easy push into that and deal with the circumstances. Pro still continuing onward here as they are getting forced a slight amount by that circle. We're going to be down a piece, but it looks good for them. Back here with flying saucers.
Oh, and it ain't looking good. Well, goodbye, my friends. This flying saucer, you might as well just go back whatever planet you came from and try again later, because it ain't happening this time around. We jump back over now to Promo, Brood, and Force as they continue to live life in the frosty environment of the epicenter, chilling out here as, you know, that was my corny dad joke of the day. But they have, again, all of this range. It seems like they backed away from that fight with Sentinels there.
Yeah, and actually, you know, the decision-making that they have here to kind of choose an establishment to hold up for a short period of time, I actually really enjoy what they chose, and more importantly, when they chose it, because it is in a position to, even without the ultimate accelerators, which does come into play here, they have the opportunity to wait out the cooldown for the next Watson generator and be impactful on the next rotation as well. So it's a great opportunity to be able to gatekeep, have resources, but not setting yourself back for the future gameplay.
So they get their teammate Peach back in the action. Low. Okay. Oh, you got to get. Did you see that?
Yeah, but it should be noted they're going to be coming through that portal. They know that Peach has no armor. They want everything to do with that skirmish whatsoever. PTN, though, struggling as they are on the kind of side here, just to the south of actually the skirmish we just witnessed, and still down Pride.
Nope, this is Struggle City Population 2 because they're out of here. You got Metro, he's trying to stay alive, turns his down, the recovery banner is out, but it ain't gonna matter. It's going to be the kill. Goodbye. Try again later. That was G Dolphin that managed to pick up Metro Primal there.
And it looks like this is Pro here, able to survive what was a Crypto ultimate, pressuring this top high ground angle. Crypto, that seems to be the first glance we've actually gotten of him at the competitive level. We'll see if it ends up paying off. But the fact that this team Pro was able to bring back Peach and things are holding pretty successful in a round number 3 is very, very good for them. Able to loot things up and hopefully hold on here when round 3 comes to a close.
And also, I do want to note that that kill that came out on Metro came from sniper abusers. Still very much in this battle here. You also got Force and I think that was going to be Pro in a fight as well. Aqualix living life all the way by the edge, so close to the safe zone, and there we go, right? Just as I had mentioned before, we were going to see that epicenter final circle.
Wait, are they going to take that portal? Do they have the confidence to take somebody else's portal to get this pressure?
I don't think they're going to go for that.
You're right. They end up playing it a little bit safer here, but they do have a low ground position here. Are they going to Arcstar the Wraith to get the push? We do see that, Gibraltar ultimate go out, but it's going to be denied there by the generator. Actually opting to retreat out. Interesting choice here. Aqualix, though, will look for an Arcstar push in a matter of seconds if they want to take this high ground.
Oh, there's some players right to the right side here, and Phony's going to go down. That's going to be BCJ. That's sniper abusers that have that angle. And there goes the portal, right? Just got to get out of there. Get your teammate through that portal as soon as possible because they're going to be chunked for so much.
Watson has to go through. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be too problematic, but letting the Watson go through first is probably going to be better there because the resources on the Pathfinder exist longer. And that is, the beginning of the end there. Struggling situation, not able to push fast enough. But the battle goes on. 15 squads here remain as we still sit with round number 4 in our game number 1.
You got Mini, Smile, and Moose and Flower here as they're living in the shelter of this Watson generator. Some fences being put up as well just to give himself the added protection, sharing resources as well as we get ready for that late game battle. 13 squads remain, 37 players still left to tussle here. Got a lot of bodies left in the battlefield. Moose and Flower's gonna feel the pressure of that one, has to dip out of there, gonna pop back with that wingman. Try their best to be able to apply some pressure here, but it ain't gonna happen. As Snipe Down pushes in Controller Gang all day. He gets himself 1, he gets himself 2, and that is gonna be goodbye to that team as the Sniper Abusers continue on their trek.
Sniper Abusers, actually, we saw Snipe Down go for the armor swap for that situation. He actually traded from purple into a blue, so a bit of a setback in terms of overall resources.
Yeah.
They hold their own in that fight, but we'll see how it plays out. So far, looking so good there for what is one of our, expected to do well teams here in this event. BCJ, Snipe Down, and G Dolphin, but Sentinel still holding their own here on Epicenter. Should be noted, this is a much more southern epicenter circle than what you can see sometimes, or actually northern. Sometimes it can be off to that southern edge where capital city becomes a major problem, but over this specific one, Sentinels actually have a grand position because rarely is anybody moving from refinery.
Anyone who is not in this high ground has a problem where this circle is right now, except for Sentinels, because they have the high ground, they have the coverage, they know where all the threats can potentially come from to cause a problem for them. They're sitting pretty currently, and the ring is going to be closing in 10 seconds. We'll see now how these teams are going to have to push in, because you know that a lot of bodies are scattered around this safe area here.
Yeah, and when the next round closes in, not number 4 as we see coming to a conclusion here right now, but in fact the next one into round 5 is forces over to that little construction section that is just on the, I believe, northwestern end of the epicenter. So everybody from the glance that we're taking now have to make their way all the way over to the opposite side, and it's moving through these icebergs and this kind of cutoff that you see through the ice that is so challenging as we watch Rogue make their attempt here towards the center.
Dude, nothing but heavyweights here for the top 12, man. Sniper abusers, Rogue, Sentinels. I mean, I think Stinky's still going to be in the fray. I think Squidward might still be in the action too. Like, there's just so many great teams that are still going to be left to fight here as this circle's going to get nice and cozy for all of our players. It's only going to get more challenging from here, Dreadnought.
Yeah, but Rogue has been climbing the ranks, especially with the results in GLL, I believe placing 3rd overall. I think that this is going to be an event that is very defining for them, and I'm not surprised for them to look good here so far. They just got to be able to continue onward, because it's not over yet. 12 squads remain. High ground advantage here as the triple take comes through, unable to land the 3rd. One more, and there is the conclusion there. One more kill is that Nappin dropping out from Team Squidward at 11 squads remaining.
I said it right, heavyweights. That's what we have here. So many great players still left to fight for the top crown in game number 1 of the finals here for the Apex Legends Global Series online qualifier for North America. Back over to Rogue now. Just playing their corners, watching their angles, making sure no one's going to pop up behind and surprise them.
Taking the portal. Actually, that was the Wraith Cube back. That's going to be very difficult for them. Luckily, that's going to come up just before the next round closing, which is when we're going to need Sweet Dreams to be able to have that. What I want to raise here for Rogue is whether or not they opt into the low ground here, or if they're going to use the path to try and attempt towards that high ground. We know there's a squad just waiting up there and dominating it, but likely also one towards that southern, or in fact, do they go towards a wide western push?
Well, look where Sentinels are.
Yeah, I mean, just completely on the opposite side.
Yeah,
they holding up.
Where Sentinels is positioned is very scary, because they're going to be able to just tag a few players as they make that push. And here it comes now as round 5 is going to come to a conclusion. The zone is going to continue to creep forward. You got players up ahead. Retzi sees it. There goes the push now. Portal's going to be out. And Zoms adding pressure right away. Now into the portal they go. Right into that safe area. They know exactly where they're going to be. The grapple comes through, right through the fences there, baby. Nice play, but Zoms is going to go down, and that was so well timed. You had the Arc Star disable all of that stuff that was going to be lingering about there, but unfortunately, just not able to clean up the kills, and they read that one like a book.
Yeah, that was clean, and it looked so very good there, but just not enough opener with those few opening shots to really be able to set the tone here. Fire, though, actually, they have the final circle positioning pretty well here as well, and the fact that they have a lot of armor on the ground, they are prepared to armor swap whenever is necessary. But look at that, Burt, down to 25, maybe 10% HP, is going to look towards one of those swaps.
There goes the Mastiff, big boy coming out to play.
Wow.
Bowser, excuse me, gets one. Player's going to be located right to the east of them here as his teammates getting tagged up. That's Burt, tries to go for the loot and get sneaky there, grab something that he could use to his advantage. Unfortunately, doesn't work out. Gonna have to look around to see if there's any shields that they can use at that moment in time. And finds PvP.
That was PvP. PvP could have shot him. He had no HP. He could have shot him once and gotten the kill there. But the fact that he hit...
He had no HP either.
No, he was willing to play pacifist. The last man
was a game of chicken.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that he got that because he was completely out of armor. There was nothing sitting around. And then PvP's like, hey, boy, I got you, man. I got your back. Here you go. Gosh, so very lucky there for them.
Thank you for the delivery.
Yeah, exactly. On your front porch, man. But here we go. Promo, Brood, Force What? Trying to find their way into that construction territory that we just watched the demise here. Wraith Portal is out.
This team looking to live up to the name of the Lil Poggies.
I'm ready.
Maybe some poggers in the chat. Who knows if this is going to work out for them. 4 squads remaining, 10 players left.
TSM still in it. We just watched them get a knock there. Albert lately, a kill onto somebody. We have gotten very little information on what they've been up to here with the 4 squads remaining, but they may be amongst them as out Imperial How went down. Here we see round 4 closing. Everybody forced here to make a transition now, trying to find somebody in the construction zone, but then he's stuck out.
Oh no, Vol, that is a big loss for them here. And Force Brood and Promos are still going to be hanging out in the high ground here. The little Poggies might be able to take this one. 2 squads remaining. Who's it going to be on the other side that they're going to be contending against here? They have a lot of open area to work with, and it's going to be the Pathfinder in front of them.